Hi everyone, I'm Miss Gonzalez, and today we will be reading a special book called The Most Surprised I've Ever Been. Because sometimes, at least I do, I like getting surprises, and most surprises are exciting, and sometimes they make us really, really happy. So in this book, the main character is Marcel the Shell, and the authors of these books are Jenny Slate and Dean Fleischer Camp. Let's see what's going to happen in the story. I love surprises. Here we go. Marcel the Shell, the most surprised I've ever been. These are my shoes. This is my face. I'm feeling pretty good about that. This is me, Marcel. Here he is, right here. One thing about a new day, you absolutely never know where it will go, even if you know where it starts. Usually in the morning, I get out of my bread, because he lives on a piece of bread, and start my day. I don't read the newspaper because it turns my shoes black. And I can't have coffee because one time I took half a sip and I didn't blink for 5 hours. But that's not the surprise I wanted to tell you about. I wanted to tell you about the day I got the most surprised ever. I wonder what that is. He's right here standing by the windowsill. I remember how the day began. I was walking on the blanket with Alan, thinking about how much I love cake. I'm not exactly sure what happened next. All I remember is this. Ooh, look at that cake. Looks really nice. Number 1, I am walking on the blanket. Number 2, I am sailing through the cool morning air 200 centimeters off the ground. Sometimes when something truly surprising happens, it feels like it lasts a long time, even if it really doesn't. So he's right here, and he's flying through the air. I was probably only up there for a few seconds, but it felt like much more. So Marcel was flying in the air when they shook the blanket, and he kind of got nervous and scared. Sometimes when we're waiting for surprises or we get a surprise, we might feel a little bit anxious or scared. Everyone looked so small. I could see the whole rug and all of its far-flung strings. I could see the tennis sneaker, but I could not smell its stinky. So he saw the shoes on the floor, the tennis sneakers, but he couldn't smell them. I even saw the baby. He didn't seem to be the beast that the local news warned us about. He just seemed sleepy and fat. I don't know why they put him in the jail. He thinks the baby's in jail, but he's in his crib. I saw my grandmother's house even from such a tall, strange height. It made me feel the way it always makes me feel, happy, sweet, and safe. Her name is Nana Connie. That's his grandma's name. She has one of those big old-fashioned breads. It's French. I felt the wind on my shell, and I thought about her journey when she was my age. Her family traveled here by coat pocket. That's actually where she met my grandfather, who was handsome and dashing and good. She still sleeps on the left side of the bed. See, here's his grandma's slice of bread where she sleeps on. I thought about my own bread and how it's just a plain white square. My Nana reminds me that sometimes things should be beautiful just to be beautiful. So this is where Marcel sleeps on. He sleeps on a slice of bread. And then I suddenly couldn't go any higher. I felt weightless, and for a second I think I stopped moving. I thought about how astronauts do this as a job. They go up there just to look around and tell us about that. Here he is floating in the air. I saw everything in its place all at once. So this is what Marcel saw when he was up in the air. It was quiet. It was the quietest quiet I've ever heard. And before I could take it all in, I started to fall back down. The world beneath me was getting bigger and bigger. My shell made a whistling noise. I've never heard that before, I thought. I was scared. I thought about the other times I've been surprised and didn't know what to do. One time, an airplane crashed on the rug. Luckily, nobody was aboard. They think that's why it crashed. One time I was babysitting the baby, and the baby said its first word. Its first word was macaroni. And another time, a popcorn went right off in front of my face. But this time, let's see what happened. Here's the cake. I wonder if he landed on the cake. What do you think? We're gonna find out. Let's see. I took the cake. Oh, look, he landed right here on the cake. So far, all of that, then suddenly I was sailing and seeing the whistling and fanning that was most surprised I've ever been. And as quickly as it started, the whistling stopped, and I stopped, and I rested. The rest of the day, I rested as the day began. So he's over here resting. The end. So here are pictures of the authors of this book. This is Dean Flesher-Camp, and then this is Jenny Slate. This is when they were young. So this is a really neat book because it talks about Marcel. And Marcel, he lives in his shell, and he wears tennis shoes, and he lives in a normal house, just like you and me do, but he sees everything through a different perspective. Like he sees things differently because he's so small compared to you and I. But I hope you like this book, and next time I will hopefully show you a little figurine I have of Marcel. That's all for now. I hope you enjoy this story, and I will see you soon. Bye.